Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Tour de France 2024. It's episode number 17. We're at the Criterium de Dauphine. We're now on stage 5 of 8. Today is the Queen stage. It's the big mountain stage, and we're skipping straight to the end. I could have gone in the break. The AI certainly suggested that I should go in the break, but there was 3 Cat 3 climbs. Would have amounted to a possibility of just 6 points. I am 2 points down in the King of the Mountains classification, but I'm more inclined to, for one, save energy, and I'm not really competing for the combativity. And two, there's a lot more points available at the finish, and I'd rather see what we're capable of there, especially while conserving that energy for the next stages that have a lot more points available to them. I didn't want to be exhausted for those stages. So in the group I do have protection. The breakaway has 15 riders. I put Perron in the breakaway to help ease that burden and have him fight for things there. All he's successfully done was an intermediate sprint, but all 3 climbs were taken by 3 different riders, so no one gained any significant points in that competition. We have one last descent as we went over that crest. We're on it now, and then we will begin the final climb of this stage. Not quite full strength for everyone. We've got a little bit of exhaustion, but it's the Puy de Dôme, 13.2k, 6.2%, and it's very steep in the final kilometer of it. That's the real climb. It's also going to have some crosswinds through there, so it's going to be an interesting climb here. We'll see how long we can hang in there, how high we can finish. Chris Hamilton sits 11th overall, so of course he is a protected rider, and as I'm fighting for the King of the Mountains, I will be the other protected rider for the team today. Alright, let's start with Johannesson and... the group Johannesson. Perron, I don't know why it's called group Johannesson instead of just breakaway, but sure, And actually, I think for that matter, let's get everyone to gel up now. It's not going to max out. Okay. Might as well take the energy boost. And somebody has attacked. Peloton's already split in half. It's Felix Gall. Felix on the attack, and the chase down is coming. It's going to be relatively flat here for quite a while as you go over that edge. And there we go. Gall has been pulled back. The breakaway only has a minute and a half. It's pulled out a bit here as we've eased off. But the field is very much in a splitting mood as we go into the big final climb and the 5K banner. 5K from the top. 5K from the top, and this is going to be where I want to really start keeping an eye on effort levels. This time, a small group is attacked. Pogacar included in that group, so this is your favorites starting to go away. I'm just going to climb at this effort continuously if I can.
Takes the virtual lead of the overall
let's lock it down at a little bit less than that because I don't think that's going to last. Well, it's already down to 4K. We're down to 4K quite quickly there. Just not sure what's a continuous climb that I can give. Down to 8 at the front, things splitting off. Pogacar has been caught by a few other guys. We're down to 48 in the peloton, and now kind of paying attention
Will there be
to
any
what's
attacks
left
before the
here
sprint?
of the group. Let's
The
take
yellow
a second.
jersey group is
Hold on.
1 minute from the head of the race.
Kopechki is still supposedly with me, but I haven't seen him. Well, he's out of energy. He's fading, I suppose. Venturini. Quinn is right there. I don't see Hamilton, but there is 3 more teammates right ahead of me, so why don't I take over the protection duties as Kopechki has done. Yeah, see, I'm not liking the effort level that's getting put in now. The rise, the fall, it's just too much. I like the nice steady climb. At the moment, I am 28th on the road. Remember, we had 15 riders up the road ahead of us, so I am fairly well placed, but certainly not at the top. 2.5K to go for myself.
Barely 2
We're not
kilometers
far
left
off from
for
the front.
group at
That appears to be the front
Good
of
chance it'll
the
come down
race,
to a
just
sprint.
ahead of us. Oh, no. There's somebody in red a little bit further up. The last 4 riders, I'm getting blocked at the moment. Squeezed here. I can't fit through. Come on. That is breakaway riders going backwards. I lost at least a couple bike lengths there. That's leaving me a bit on the solo side. Okay, checking in on my teammate. I'm in a group of 8. Hamilton is still up the road. He's got Piganzoli with him. Tell him to protect and tell him to use his gel. Use your gel. Quinn, use your gel. Venturini, the other guys are all out the back. I am now 25th on the road. There's still 3 riders left at the front, 1.4K.
Okay, I'll consume a feed.
But I am overtaking guys that have pushed too hard. I've just left behind my support, so I am now going solo. I'm 21st.
The group at the front
1.6K.
is
Got
under
back
the
off
red
a
pen.
little bit more. This tempo's a little too high. There's Bernal. There's Gall. Christian Rodriguez from the break. He was at the front. 2 left at the front. Mataway. Gall. There's Piganzoli. 1.2K. I gotta start slowing down more and more. I'm up to 16th. Here's Yates. I still have my red gel.
Reduce speed a bit, otherwise
Still
you'll hit
have
the
my
wall.
gel. Alright. Starting to use the gel to counteract. We're up to 14th now. A lot of that has been breakaway riders, though, so I think I'm really only kind of just scratching that surface of being top 10. Bilbao keeping up with me here. And there goes the last of the gel, so we're going to have to slow down. Yates and Bilbao. Zimmerman wins the stage ahead of Johannesson. That is the leftovers of the breakaway. Pogacar and then Vingegaard. Evenepoel, who is the leader, takes 5th. And Roglic all just about right there together. I'm not that far behind these guys. Chris Hamilton was next. Well done for him. Well done for him. I think I'm a bit too far down to... Come on, Yates. Yates squeezed me. Martinez comes through. Too far down to collect any KOM points, I think. Still a good result, though. Alright, so 2 breakaway guys, Zimmerman, Johannesson, and then the real field starts to come in at 21 seconds behind. Just a half minute down is Chris Hamilton, essentially 5th on stage behind the 4 favorites. So fantastic result, beating the likes of Paulus and Carapaz, Bardet, Carlos Rodriguez, O'Connor all the way down to 13th. And then I'm just behind that. I mean, there's Lenny Martinez, who overtook me on the way to the line. Van Eetveld, who came with him, and then Adam Yates and myself and Bilbao. All right there, just 2:12 down, 17th on the stage. That is a very good, very strong result at this stage of where we are at climbing-wise. So Zimmerman gets 18 points today. The leader of the KOM prior was 10. So Zimmerman is going to move into the lead of that. Johannesson having the breakaway take it was not the best outcome, but it does make it possible to maybe beat a Pogacar and a Evenepoel to that King of the Mountains. Hamilton picks up 4 points. I do not get any, though, but we're going to be in the breakaway beginning in the next stage. As for the points classification, no points earned today. Zimmerman topping out at 15. Young rider, still a decent day in that competition. I should be fairly well placed. Number 1 in the team classification. Wow, nice on that part. Perron, KOM, combativity. Yeah, don't think that one's happening. New GC, Evenepoel still leads, but Vingegaard and Pogacar move onto the podium ahead of Roglic, who stays 4th, Bardet 5th. Hamilton, the biggest jump in the top 10 to 6th. Van Aert losing a ton of time. I was ahead of Van Aert. We saw the overtake there. Pello Bilbao came in with me. I helped to boost him to that 7th place. And Adam Yates is 10th. I'm 16th. I am just off this list here. 16th at 6:03 down. Pretty impressive on that part, but also far enough down that I can get into a breakaway. Should not be a problem. Piganzoli is 19th. Quinn is 20th. Doing good on that part. Okay, KOM. Zimmerman. 18 points, all accumulated today. Johannessen's 13. I think he had 1, right? You got 12 today. And then Pogacar, Vauquelin, who was the leader. Paulus now at 9. Down to 6th at 8 points, but we're getting to work on that KOM beginning with the next stage. A lot more points on offer at the intermediate climbs along the way that we'll have a real shot at. In the points, Bardet has 36th. I am just 8 points behind. Those breakaway intermediate sprints could really work wonders, and we've got a chance at that points. Bigger chance at the polka dots, but I think that green jersey is a possibility. In the young rider, myself, Pinganzoli, and Quinn all over that top 6, but very much out of contention because it's Evenepoel who leads. We are 3rd in the team classification, up 1 spot from where we were at 7 minutes behind. Definitely not going to win it, but it's nice to see us performing, especially as we were awful last year in this type of classification. Perron, not far off, but Thomas has been in like 4 breakaways. Stage 6, a lot more points today. Good chance for the KOM. However, stages 7 and 8 have more points than today does. So I don't necessarily need to be 100%ing all in throughout the whole stage. I can maybe make a big effort, win these first 3 climbs, and then ease off and conserve more energy for stages 7 and 8. But the intermediate sprint is also a little bit later in the stage, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. 8 of us already together. There's another 6 off the front, and Peloton's a minute 40 down. I was the first one to attack, though I was not right at the front, not wearing any jerseys or anything, but I was close enough to the front that I was able to squeeze through first.
Well on short climbs.
Zimmerman, Johannessen, they're both here, so guys number 1 and 2 that also turned around and won the stage yesterday. It's going to be hard to get maximum points.
The American Nelson Paulus is finished in the top 10 in every type of terrain.
We'll have to try to break through and do what we can.
4th in Classica San Sebastian, 5th in Tour of Flanders, 6th in Paris-Nice, 7th in Milan-San Remo, 8th in Liège-Bastogne-Liège. A particularly versatile rider. He could be labelled as a puncher, but is also good in the mountains. However, his top speed can be described as lethargic. Lots
of riders all over the place. A few riders attacked our group. Not everybody was working. I did work early, though I stopped working, but it definitely wasn't me that led to that attack. But right now I am leading the chase because I do want to get after these couple of points here. And we're just over 1K away from that right now. Just about to make contact with them as I'm just riding at 100%, and they're attacking early. In fact, everybody else is attacking as well. I don't think these 2 points are looking very likely right now from here, but we're trying to come through. Getting squeezed.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
Oh, I got it. Wow, I ran out of red bar just before the top, and Geschke was coming through, but I got the 2 points. That's a good 2 points to win. For now, still just 8 at the front, but there are 9 more off the front of the peloton, so 17 in all trying to come together, but for now it's 3 separate groups as we head to the first Cat 2 of the day, a much harder climb. Luckily, I'm back to full strength. Right now I'm seen as 17% on contribution, so I am not going to contribute for a while. Conchi is not contributing. Schultz is not contributing. Now it's 13 riders together here just before the base of the climb. Contribution almost dropped in half. Now 17 together. As long as I still have contribution in there, I'm definitely not going to give it now as we begin to climb. First Cat 2 of the day. 5.7K, 8.3%. I have a feeling there might be a couple less riders at the top of this thing. 4K to go, and we begin the steeper portion, and it's going to stay pretty steep all the way to the finish. Alright, I don't want to be too far down.
Who also knows how to climb in the mountains. On the other hand, it's better for him that he finishes alone because his capabilities as a sprinter really are limited.
We are 4 minutes ahead of the peloton right now. It's starting to look like there's a real, possibility that the breakaway could claim stage today, and that could be another factor to think about. Not necessarily winning the stage, but gaining time and moving up to GC and maybe getting in the top 10 and having an alternative motivation, as we're only just outside of the top 10 as it is right now. And at this point, beating Johannesson and Zimmerman might be a little difficult, but we'll see how these next couple of climbs go. Going through for a turn, getting a little acceleration through here.
You are 2 kilometers from the
Back
summit.
off.
Watch your opponents.
Oi. Johannesson Palace turning in on me. Oh, Vakalin's here too, so there's the guy who was 2 points ahead of us. I'm level with him right now. 1.6k.
Keep an eye on him. He's the best climber in the breakaway.
Johannesson, strongest climber of the group. But no surprise about that. It is Group Johannesson after all. More of a surprise that he lost to Zimmerman on that last stage than anything, as Vermeersch goes early. It's 1k. I have not started attacking yet. You still had a full K to go to the top, so I'm coming over a little more gently, working my way into it now, working my way back up through the group, and even then, there's still 300 meters to go, and I don't have... Give me that last little... I'm not going to get any points. Johannesson gets 5, Palace gets 3, Vakelin gets 2, Schultz gets 1, and here is where my limitations start to show up. Too much quality in the group, and even trying to... started from a good position. Conserved energy, did not go full gas.
Young French
Still ran out of
rider
red
Kevin
bar.
Vauquelin.
So as we hit the bottom of the climb, the group split twice,
The mountains
and
really
we
aren't
ended
his
up
thing.
in the back
He's more of
group,
a puncher
and
ruler
the
with a
guys
good finish.
didn't want to
If it's a
contribute.
small group.
So all of a sudden, I am left doing the work right now to try to get us back up there. It looks like Sobrero is ready to start working. I don't want to back off right now, though. We've got to make up this ground, get back up there. Meanwhile, we're 6:49 ahead of the peloton. The likelihood of a breakaway victory is increasing. 20 seconds have been pulled back so far, and we are nearly up there. Got to endure, get back up there. Another 8 seconds have been gained. Sobrero, at least he's helping. The others don't want to work,
The gap isn't changing much.
but the two of us are at least making up the ground. Just 16 seconds behind now. We just got to keep an eye on Sobrero, make sure he stays at 100. Back to 17, 6:46 ahead, 9.8 kilometer climb, 4.7%, and fairly steady, not too steep, just a steady climb, 4.5 to 5%. We are now 3k from the top. I don't think attacking is going to do any good, as I expect everyone to go with me, but for now they have not. So if I can keep climbing, and if I can open a gap, we can claim this climb, because I'm not going to beat these guys head to head. So catching them off guard is the best method. Let's back off, back off, back off. Let somebody come through. Nobody wants to come through at the moment. But getting my red bar back now. 1.7 from the top. We just left 2 riders behind is all we ended up doing. Now I'm back to that front position. But some of them will have used that red bar and probably not the gel. So this is going to give me at least a little chance on this climb of beating them, because neutral, I have no chance. Fairly flat, so this is something where we do want to speed up and then get going early on. This is my best chance. I've got separation right now. I've got separation. Just trying to pace myself towards the top. 2 seconds. Here they come. Here they come. Full gas. Full gas. I've got it. I got it. 5 points.
All right. Nothing broken. Watch out.
Dad behind
I
him.
couldn't express words because I was so mad, so frustrated. none of the buttons, nothing was working, no control, and we went straight into a barrier and crashed. So now we're a minute behind the group and out of contact. I also have zero opportunity to be aggressive and attack. I can't ride hard anymore. This is my first crash in 2 years, and it's because literally nothing worked. No buttons were working for me. I couldn't control. I'm trying every button, and nothing happened. I had steering, but I couldn't brake. And I wasn't using the steering to its full extent anyway because I was freaking out that nothing was working. But we've also lost contact with the group, so I don't know if at a minute down if I have any chance of getting back up there. Not that far behind, and I'm definitely gaining ground on them quickly right now. I doubt that Husky's going to contribute and stay with me. He apparently is still on my wheel. We're gaining ground rather quickly. But I can't attack. There is zero chance to attack, so I'm really screwed over here. Very first crash in 2 years happens because of
Here's a teammate who has everything to prove.
Very frustrated, but we're back in the group at least. But again, I can't attack. I can't compete, so I don't know. So as we head up this climb, I'm not going to be able to keep up. When they accelerate, I will get dropped, as I can't push, and there you go. I'm out of the group because I can't go more than 100% effort. I catch back up as they slow down, so lucky on that part, but again, they're going to attack here, and I'm going to get left behind. Velasco claiming the points this time. Nobody attacked. They weren't even riding hard yet. I got separated, so apparently they did speed up and have a little attack there. And now I just have to chase down. Are they worried because I'm not contributing? Could be. The intermediate sprint is something I very much want to compete for, but can't. And Hamilton is now solo with the last 22, as the breakaway is also down to a relatively small group as we go towards the top. And Hamilton gets dropped with a group of 13. So not only is it not my day, but it's not our team's day. I go over the top. 55th on the road. Worst position I've been in for quite some time. Evenepoel has won the stage ahead of Mataway. Or no, that's not stage. That's KOM3. That's not the finish line. They still have 2 kilometers to the finish. There's a double climb here. And that means I'm going a little too hard for a double climb. Evenepoel has left Mataway behind. He's now 20 seconds down. Vingegaard's 45 seconds behind him. Holding. Gall plus 1 more in the next group. Johannesson still up there with Pogačar, Roglic chasing. Evenepoel takes the win at 4.5 hours. Mataway's still second, but he is now more than a minute behind. Vingegaard has been caught by a couple other riders. Mataway second. Carapaz, Vingegaard, and Gall round out the top 5 for the stage. I have a short descent here, and hey, the buttons actually worked. On to the final climb after a very, very short descent there. Johannesson 7th. O'Connor, Gaudu, Bardet round out the top 10. Pogačar was only 11th on the stage. Very disappointing for him. Hamilton 28th today is going to see him plummet down the rankings quite a bit. Same for me. Really disappointing. I'm up to 49th, but it's not how I planned on things for today at all. A couple years back, the game was so buggy that I only did a handful of episodes and got really frustrated and quit. Last year, I pushed through it. Found that some of the bugs weren't as bad. It was just mediocre design. And was able to suffer through and be okay with the outcomes. As I drop outside of the top 50 as Ucha Brooks makes a big push here to the finish line. But this year, as I've figured the game out more, the bugs are still too numerous for a game that has been around for a long time, and it's the same issues. And so much of it is you, at least on PC, it's the only way to play the game. And this connecting to, this thing behind it on screen for you is faulty. Constantly loses connection, and that is not this remote. It is this game, because I use this remote on lots and lots of games, and this is the only source of these issues. And today, it's been very costly. Now that frustration, which was already bubbling on the surface, it's gotten a bit worse. I'm not sure how much longer that I'm going to want to put up with these issues. Huge win for Evenepoel, as he's a minute and a half ahead of any chasers. I've really missed out on classifications. I do collect the second most points on the day with 7, but Johannesson collects 9, and he was already ahead of me, so he's going to be further ahead. I'll have improved my position, but that's it. Evenepoel now leading by 2 minutes, with Vingegaard, Roglic rounding out the podium. Pogačar off the podium completely, which is surprising. Top 4 are very clear, but the battle for 5th, Hamilton drops to 8th at 7.5 minutes down. Pagazoli is up to 19th. Quinn is up to 20th. I have dropped to 26th in the GC battle. KOM Johannesson now leads from Zimmerman at 22 points. I am up to 3rd, but at 15 points. Now, the only possibility for me to win this thing is Johannesson literally not going in a breakaway and then beating the other competition. That seems unlikely. I'm also going to be suffering penalties for multiple stages now from a crash that occurred because of a bug. Points classification, Evenepoel now actually commands this one with a pretty healthy lead, though Bardet, Hershey, Roglic technically all have a chance at it. It's commanding over me, 20 points down, so I'm not going to win the points classification. Young rider situation got worse. There's not much left to ride for in this race at this point, other than there's not really much to ride for now. I go into the attack on the next stage, and I will only be able to attack at a limited amount. And then you go into the one after, and I'm only going to be able to attack at a slightly more limited amount. I can't go full gas for at least the next couple of stages at any point, which means I'm not going to win any KOMs. I'm not going to win any points, intermediate sprints. I'm done and dusted for this race. So all that's left to do now is simulate those 2 stages, collect whatever development points I'm going to get, and hope that Hamilton can finish decently and stay in the top 10. So the breakaway claims stage number 7 with Van Gils, winning ahead of Paulus and Bilbao. Hamilton was 4:46 down, so he loses a huge chunk of time today. However, the breakaway was 10 riders, and then you've got Dunbar coming in at 4:25, and so actually not looking too bad on the timing here. Hamilton might still be in a decent position, though I was 20 minutes down, and again, can't attack, you get dropped. And you can still see connected. Can you see the light? That's what I'm talking about, folks. This same problem has persisted for the 4 years that I played this game now. 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is.
We had no real
4
ambitions
years
for the classification
because
of this stage.
I did it once, didn't touch it for the next year, came back to it last year. So Hamilton is down to 11th as Bilbao, Johannesson, and Simon Yates, who were in the breakaway, move up. So he dropped 3 places because 3 breakaway riders gained enough time to get into a strong position. So with nothing left to compete for and penalties still persisting, I'm sitting out the final stage.
We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage.
Hamilton, half an hour down today. Half an hour. So we just lost out on any points he was going to pick up for us, as the whole team just got hammered. Kopechki was 150th, 52 minutes down, possibly last place. Pogacar wins the stage ahead of Vingegaard and Bardet. They gain a big chunk of time. We'll see what it does, because I don't see Evenepoel 450 behind. 450. I think he just lost the race. He lost the podium completely. Vingegaard wins the race. Pogacar takes second on same time as Roglic, but jumps him with the stage victory on the final stage to get second. Bilbao takes fourth. Breakaway rider Evenepoel gets fifth. Bardet, Carapaz, Carlos Rodriguez, Felix Gall, and Ben O'Connor round out the top 10. Hamilton drops all the way to 28th place. I was 48th, an hour and 18 behind, and you could still see the green icon as I was still encountering penalties for a crash caused by the game. KOM, Guillaume Martin, wins it with 49 points. He wasn't even in this thing in the first 6 stages. Surprising, but again, I couldn't have competed even if I wanted to in these last 2 stages. I stayed on 15 points. Never gained any more points. Evenepoel does hang on to that win, though boy, it got slim there in the end. I was 9th. Young rider Piganzoli was 12th. I was 13th. Evenepoel, of course, winning that one. Team classification, we fall all the way to 13th. I simulate 2 stages, and we go from 13th, or from 3rd to 13th. I think we had actually dropped on stage 6. So that fall began not on stage 7, but on stage 6. Combativity, Palace claims it was 606 kilometers. I had 251. Had I been in those last 2 breakaways, maybe I reached 500, but I definitely wouldn't have reached Palace. Disappointing finish to this race, needless to say. As a team, we are 15th with 217 points. Decathlon, AG2R, just 1 point behind us. Cofidis, Intermarché, all very close. And with that collapse, we're definitely vulnerable to the teams around us, but still fighting for that top 18 right now. We've got to beat one of these 4 teams to get that 18th. Everybody else looks like, at least at this stage, that we've got them beat pretty easy. However, Israel Premier Tech will be at the Tour de France. We will not. The big test is how much improvement do I get, enough to top 75, first on the team. But my agility, is it back to full? Agility rating decreases to the minimum D after each fall. It increases by a level between each stage up to the maximum level of the rider. It is automatically restored to its maximum level at the start of a race. So we will be back to maximum next race. No more penalties, no more screw you game moments. Prologue goes +1. Time trial goes +1 as we had an individual time trial in that race. It's hard to get it any higher from here. The team time trials can get me 3 more points, but how am I supposed to win an individual time trial with a 69 rating? How am I supposed to win a team time trial? That's the key there. You've got to have enough good time trialists around you to win a team one to really get the points before you can compete on the individuals. Mountain stays at a 72. I did lead over the top of Cat 2 Climb, at least one of them in this race. I think it might have been a couple. No, really just the one. Just the one. So we still have 3 more to go before we can get another mountain point. We've led over 1 Cat 1, and that's still obviously problematic. 3 more mountain stages, though, will get us to an additional point. Getting to the Tour de France will get us a point. There's ways, there's methods to bring that up, and it's hard. Medium mountain does go +2 though, from a 72 to a 74. Absolutely helpful on that part. And there's easier ways to continue to bring that up while the hills rating stays at 75. Acceleration goes +1. The intermediate sprints, a few points there, or winning a flat stage. Those combined will help me with the acceleration and help me with our sprint. Flat does not improve One more flat stage will get us a point in flat. 66 is still really bad in that department, and is absolutely contributing into some of the struggles we still have. Getting to that top 18 and getting those new races on the calendar will get me 3 points of flat next year. Winning a flat stage or 2 will finally get me a couple more points. So there's a path potentially in next season to bring that flat rating up quite a few points. But a 75.2 overall from where we were and how the race was going through the first 4 stages. Pretty unimpressed with the overall gains there. Very minor. But again, right now, my path to progress is going to happen through the easier races and happen through getting us into the top 18. That is the big path forward. These races, a little difficult to do much with. We were very competitive, but definitely not the best. My strategy on that Cat 2 did work out, attacking early. We didn't get the separation, but it burnt the red bar. And then I used my gel, get my red bar back, and then I was able to attack and get over the top first. So catching them out did work. Just took two-pronged strategy to make it happen. So we do know a way to win those climbs in the future. Zap everybody else's red bar, refill mine, and then hit them again. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.